Hey everybody, I'm here today to talk to you about 4 tips for getting your G1 license. Where I live, which is in Ontario, Canada, you need to get your G1 license as the first step towards getting your full license. Your G1 is basically your learner's permit, and I'm going to be giving you 4 tips that will help you get your G1 license. Let's get right to it. Tip number 1. Focus on studying the road rules more than the road signs. Now, the G1 test basically consists of 2 parts. One part is the road rules, and the other part is the road signs. Now, the reason that I tell you that you should study the road rules more than the road signs is simply because a lot of the road signs you will already know. Whether you bike ride, take the bus, walk around, or you've been driven in a car, you will know a lot of the road signs, what they mean, and what you should do when you see those road signs. You'll just know them naturally because you've been exposed to them for so long and so many times, okay? So with that being said, you should still study the road signs, but you should place more of an emphasis on studying the road rules because those won't come as naturally to you as the road signs will. Okay, tip number 2. Study to the point where you don't have to guess, okay? Now, the G1 test is multiple choice, so yes, if you don't know the answer, you can guess. But although that might help you pass the actual test, it will not help you when you're actually driving. If you see a sign, you can't just guess what that sign means. If you are approaching an intersection and you don't know what you should be doing, that's not going to help you when you're actually driving. Guessing might help you pass the test, but it will definitely hinder you when you are actually behind the wheel. And with that being said, you should study to the point where you know all of the information and you don't have to guess, okay? Study to the point where you know everything and you do not have to guess. Guessing might get you by on the test. You know, it's a multiple choice test. However, it will really hinder you when you are actually behind the wheel, and it can put everybody else at danger, put everyone else in a dangerous position as well. Tip number 3. Do some practice exams. If you go online and you do a quick search, you can find many G1 practice exams and practice tests, okay? Go ahead and do those after you have studied, okay? So study a lot, then do the practice exams, study some more, do more practice exams, and continue studying and doing practice exams until you basically get 100% on the practice exam. And that's the best way, you know, that you can be almost certain that you will actually get your G1 license when you go and write the written test, the multiple choice test. Tip number 4, and this is definitely very important, and many people overlook this. Get a good sleep the night before the test, okay? Now, many people will stay up late studying, and that will help them gain more information, but the lack of sleep will cause them to lose that information the next day or not be able to recall that information the next day when they're actually writing the G1 test. With that being said, do all of your studying, okay? Do all of your studying ahead of time and be at the point where you don't need to study late the night before. Get a good night's sleep the night before. It is super important. And that's basically it. In this video, I have spoken to you about 4 tips for getting your G1 license. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.